Hi guys, welcome to another episode of iReview, but this time on a family sharing. So I'll be reviewing the movie titled The Perfect Arrangement. So I watched this movie like 3 days ago or 2 days. I should have reviewed it, but the movie no make am. Like I did not feel the romance, so I said, okay, let me go and watch another romantic movie. It also followed the same pattern, and I did not feel the romance also. But moving on into the movie, the plot seemed obvious from the beginning. I thought it was great. So it's basically the movie is about a lady who has a male best friend and who loves her, and she loves the brother too. So she was in love with two brothers, and then we basically had the movie for her to decide who she wanted to go for. So there was a lot of back and forth. So it seemed obvious in the beginning that it was going to be the particular guy she would pick, but then she picked another, and then they started going back and forth and back and forth, and it was not palatable. Like we didn't even feel the love. I couldn't even say, okay, 1 minute she's kissing this one, another minute she's kissing that. I couldn't even really say, okay, this is the person she has the most emotion for and stuff like that. So I thought, so okay, if she ended up dating, marrying this person, then the plot is too obvious. At the same time, so if she ends up marrying another one too, the plot is still obvious too. But I think they could have done it a better way where you know the plot, you know where you're going to, but the journey there is sweet and pleasant. So basically, I think they only did that not because the girl was confused. So that's where they painted it in the movie that she was confused. But I feel they only did it just to confuse the audience so that we will know where they are going, you know, to be like that surprise plot twist. But twist, plot, everything no pure. Going on, there was a scene where in the beginning the man was trying to let us know that so one of the guys is a political aspirant for governorship in the state Anambra. So the father was saying he's too foreign, that dating another girl from dating a girl from the Yoruba tribe, because they are from Anambra, will alienate him from the grassroots of his state. And this guy talks like one Mazi. I'm like, how is he foreign? As it was the brother that was speaking for me, would have understood. So Bovi was the governorship aspirant, his brother Pere, and of course the hot stuff, the hot commodity was Sharon Ooja, who understand, fine girl. Then our other best friend is what's her name? Bovi father, and we had Debo Mr. Macaroni there too. Funsha Adiolu, yes, I loved Funsha Adiolu's voice. It was different. I wouldn't have easily known it was the one. I don't know. I hope it's not a medical condition or something. I hope it's just intentional not to camouflage his voice. Because one thing I'm really bothered about is that you see the same actor in the same movie, in different movies, the same mannerism, the same voice, the same behavioral tics. Nothing to distinguish one character they played 10 years ago and the character they are playing now, except for any special thing. But the character basically has the same behavior. So I really like it. I hope he did it intentionally. But if that's his new voice, I went on his Instagram, start trying, but it's only TikTok videos of him um, mashing up with some other people. So I never heard his voice. I don't know if it's his new voice. So movie's voice too was us, as if maybe he had cold or he had shouted and his voice is no longer clear. Then so I've talked about not feeling the chemistry. Then there was one funny part. So when Bovi was breaking it up to his girlfriend that he could no longer date her because the father said no. The girl come vex, come say, leave the house, leave the house. I was surprised, like, is it not his house? The guy had to ask her that I should leave my own house. She said yes. So I was wondering, how will you? Someone is breaking up with you, still have the audacity to tell him to leave his own house. If you see him paying, now you go carry your bag and leave now. Well, he's well. So then they had a fashion show. Yeah, so the main character has a fashion brand, and there was supposed to be a show. Okay, there was a show, and there was supposed to be a stain, but they didn't really show us the stain. They didn't really show. So she did some makeshifts adjustment to the clothes, and it's supposed to be wowing. It did not wow me. And they didn't even let us even, in American movies now, they will let us look at the clothes up and down for us to see the effect. It was just within a blink of an eye they've left. Ah, let's see the clothes. No, same thing with the grand. So there was a grand fashion show at the end. That was the thing they spoke about majority of the movie. She finally designed a spectacular gown. We did not see this gown in flesh. We only saw it in sketch. The fashion show, they just show some people doing catwalk. We did not even, in American movies when they are showing them doing competitions, you show us some key top brands or top contenders, and you show us their work, and we to be like, oh yeah, and then you now show us the one of the protagonists that is wowing us. But in this case, everything was just, you wouldn't even know it was a competition, and then the next thing, they announced the winner. We did not even see the winning gown. But sha is for movie. I don't know what else to say. And even the anchor, I don't know. Maybe she's supposed to be French. Is it that she's supposed to be French, or she does not even understand English or French or whatever? The way she was talking was. So I have a lot of things to complain about in this movie, sha. Okay, so when there was a stain, she cut off the sleeve and then she added some things. I felt like she should have just left it without adding any other attachments or whatever. To the meat of the matter, the major problem they had was the family, the rich family retaining their business. I don't want to put so many spoilers out there. That's what I'm trying to edge around. So the family was supposed to like maintain their company, and then there was a reporter out to get them. See, it's like I'll still give spoiler at the end of the day because I have to talk about the outcome of this puzzle. And there was a lot of back and forth, and I feel like the family could have found a better way to resolve it than being at the mercy of the reporter and the government. I feel like people that have been doing the business for years would would know their onions and how to handle events like that. So the company is an oil block, and some vandals in Niger Delta destroyed it. So unfortunately, it affected the family, the village of the reporter, and so she had a personal vendetta against them, and she made sure that they lost the company. Now the vandals spoiled it. It wasn't the family that did that, and they cleaned it up. They cleaned up the oil spill to the point of going bankrupt over it. So they needed a 2-year waiver for them to progress with their company, and this reporter was so against them, talk them to other states just to have exposes on them, and strong arm the government into rescinding the waiver when they finally got the waiver. So I just wondered that why the personal vendetta. These people were not the one that caused the oil spill. They went, despite that, they spent all their money to clean up the oil spill. All their money, not that they spent some money, they spent all their money to clean up the oil spill. They only need a waiver so that they won't have to pay royalties. Then it became a big issue. So I thought they were going to maybe expose something that, oh, the family had been doing one shady thing underground for years, and that was the major factor moving the lady. But it just seemed like, oh, some vandals. So it seemed she was blaming them that the government. She said she excused the vandals, said it was because the economy is hard. But this company is not the government. So she was blaming the government, as these people are not the government. They are just doing a business. So it's like a criminal came to my house and tried to rob me, and in the process caused an havoc, and caused the havoc. And I will clean it up, and then you still blame me for it because your economy is that. It doesn't work. So I really thought, did they think it through? If they had even given us an expose now that, oh, the family is shady and they did all these underground deals that was at the detriment of the Niger Deltans, and it made the criminals do what they did, maybe we would have excused it, but just like that, it didn't work. Then in the movie, there was a problem about the timeline. The timeline being that so the movie opened up in I think 2015. So there, within that 2015, someone was supposed to be governor in the next 4 years. So you assume that 2015 will be to 2019. But then I'm hearing 5 years later. I said 2015, 2015. I hear that 2015. I will correct that one. 5 years later, they should say 5 years later in the movie. Now, assuming I'm the one getting the date wrong, okay, but at least they mentioned 5 years later. The girl had to build a brand for 5 years. Someone is now still running for governorship. If you are supposed to have been the governor 4 years later, so I thought it would have been governor for a year already, and then the other things that transpired. But now it was still running. So it wasn't as if the election was starting, and that time was they were still campaigning. So I wondered what happened to the timeline. It's supposed to be 4 years at least, or 3.5 years, something, not 5 years. And then you're still campaigning to be a governor. And that's the majority. You are doing romantic movie, you are not feeling love. The storyline is so obvious. The love is not there. Some romantic movies you watch that the plot is not that great, but you see the way the guys act. Like this, I think Baby Mama by Alex. What's his name again? Alex, whatever. Yeah, he has his lips. I'm forgetting his name. And this other girl, what's her name? Is it not Tana Delano? They did it in Ghana also. The movie was not nice. It was not nice at all. But the way Alex Kubo, the way he acted that, I was like, he acted that part well. So that's like a redeeming factor. This one not have that. You don't have good storyline. You don't have good romance. You don't have good what's it called? Good. I forgot what they call it. Yeah, this good problem. Every movie is supposed to have a problem that we are going to root for them to get to. But I don't have good problems. It was just at the end of the day, the problem that seemed so big, but then resolved so casually, so casually. The only problem for them was that I was like, towards the end, I could see a little bit of okay, since this person likes her more based on the sacrifices he has made, and I think this is the person she should go for. So when it seemed as if she was going for the other person, I was already looking at them like this. Then some seconds later, they tried to do the plot twist and she went for the person he expected and movie ended. Before it even ended, I was already looking for the next movie to watch. So by review of it, I'll give it 2/5. 2 stars/5. They could have done better. They could have acted it better. No. And so that's the end of the review. We'll be back later with another movie. Oh, a bonus, there's this other stupid movie I watched, Trojan or whatever. That was one I watched, expecting that I would get something better. It basically followed the same storyline, two brothers and one girl. In this one, they didn't even resolve it well. The girl ended up being pregnant, and then they just ended the scene. Who is the father? What will they do? We do not know. I was just mad that day. Like, what's the meaning of all this? Trojan, I don't even know the meaning of the. Is it Trojan or whatever? Trevor or whatever. What was the meaning of the title? Why? What does it have? There's no relevance. You don't even know. People should do better. Thank you very much.